Okay, we've got senior running back LaJuan Hunt had his third 100-yard rushing game of the season, fourth of his career. We'll let LaJuan make an opening comment on how he thought the offense played, and then we'll take questions.
Okay, well, first off, I just thought the offense came out fast and physical. We were dominating from the beginning. The only reason we couldn't sustain certain drives is because we shot ourselves in the foot, and it was nothing that they did. Credit to them. They did come out and play hard, but we just needed this one to get bowl eligible, and we did. We came out and played fast, and we executed.
LaJuan, how much does it mean to you to exceed 100 yards in your final game in the stadium?
It's big time, man. I wouldn't want to go out any other way, and just credit to my O-line and all the receivers that blocked for me, because without them, I wouldn't have been able to do that without them. And it just feels good to leave Maverick Stadium with 100 yards and a touchdown and a win to make us bowl eligible. So overall, it was just great.
What happened on your touchdown there with 48 yards there at the start of the third?
Well, we call that play drill. It's just an inside zone play. We got it blocked up right, and then I made my read, broke a tackle, and then once I got into open field, I knew I was scoring, and from there it was touchdown.
The way you guys ran the ball as a team really set the stage for the game. How much did that change the course of the game, running as successfully as you did?
Well, first of all, if you can run the ball, you're more likely than not to win the game, and that's always a focus coming to every game, is establish a run. So we wanted to do that early and often, and that's exactly what we did, and that's why we came out with the win.
What were you guys seeing from the Hawaiian defense that was allowing 60-yard touchdown runs, 48-yard touchdown runs?
They got a weird defense that they like to move a lot of guys around, and they leave gaps open because everyone is kind of doing their own thing over there. So we just exploited that, and we had backs, including myself, just exploit that and find the holes and run.
Tell us about kind of how the game plan happened, or I guess Jerome Wright seemed like he was getting the carries at first, and obviously that worked.
We just have a rotation, we got certain series where I'll go, and then he'll go, and then Trey will go, and just like that. It's just based on the rotation that we have.
LaJuan, how much did you guys just set the tone on both sides of the ball with the way you started the first quarter and the third quarter?
Well, that was a focus too. We had to start early and fast, and not give up, not take our foot off the pedal going into halftime coming out, and we just kept the tempo on, kept our gas on the foot on the gas, and we just kept executing on both sides of the ball.
LaJuan, you've had back-to-back 100-yard rushing games, both wins. How refreshing is it for you to have that success, but also have the team success to go along with it?
It's great, man. Anytime I can go out and have a good game that helps my team win is ultimately what it all comes down to. And that doesn't matter what I get personally. It's just when we win, then that stuff is just a bonus, what I got.
How good does it feel now to be, after last season, to be bowl eligible? You got another game versus Air Force next week.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly on the season on a 4-game winning streak. Especially for the guys going into next year too.
It just feels great, man. Especially coming from last year, we had a nasty taste in our mouth, and disappointing season, not the season that anybody wanted, or how Utah State plays football. But this year, that's what we wanted to focus on, get back to where we were before, and that's what we've been doing. We've been playing with the edge, our whole team, and we just come out executing, winning games.
With the starts you've had in the other home games against Colorado State, Wyoming, Boise, where it was a little slow to start, what was the mentality offensively to get off to a quick start and put the stamp down today?
That those games doesn't define us, and that's not who we are as an offense. We're gonna have plays that's not drawn up, and that happen. That the defense makes good plays, or we're not. We're just focused on the next play with positive plays, and we're just gonna keep rolling. We know that we're an explosive offense, and we can get sustained drives and score touchdowns fast, and that's exactly what we did.
Going on last 4 games, like you was kind of mentioning, 3 games with 100 yards rushing. Has there been something different that you or the rest of the offense has been doing that's kind of allowed some more rushing lanes to open up during that?
I would just say that we're just executing. We're all just clicking on one cylinder, and that's just opening up holes and making reads and just running.
What
LaJuan, what did you think of Jordan's touchdown run with one shoe?
Determination, man. Like he spun off a tackle, lost a shoe, and got in and found a way to get in the end zone. I thought he was getting tackled at the 5, and then he just barreled his way in the end zone. So I just thought he was determined to get in the end zone. That's what he did.
Juan, you came in here, you've been really close with Ken Myers throughout your 4 years here. What was it like for you to see him come in on senior day and deliver absolutely perfect deep ball for the touchdown?
Great, man. It felt great for me, especially for him, seeing him do that and giving him the drive and immediately having a big play and then then scoring right after. Just means the world for me to see him doing that. So I'm just proud of him, happy that he had that.
You guys seem just fired up today. You guys seem like you came with a little bit of an edge on you.
Yeah, we wanted that 6th win. We want to go bowling. That's basically what I can sum it down to.
How has your time just kind of overall at Utah State University been? I mean, a small college town, people come from all different walks of life and seem to find something special here.
Yeah, it's been great. Like I said before, I've built a lot of great relationships with a lot of people that I didn't think I would have great relationships with. I think that all those guys in the locker room, I'll forever keep in touch with them and cherish all those relationships for as long as I can.
As a senior, how do you emphasize to some of the younger guys there's still work left to do, the possibility for 7th, even 8th win?
I told them we're not done yet. We still got 2 more games left, and we got to end on a good note. Why not end on a 4-game winning streak, and just keep that vibe in the locker room and keep them up, and then we'll carry the way as seniors, and they'll just follow right behind us.
You thought about ball games yet? Anywhere you want to go?
No, I just want to go to one, to be honest. So it doesn't matter where we go.
Someplace warm?
Someplace warm, yeah, preferably. But I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I just want to play.
Congratulations.
Okay. All right. Is that it? All right.
Alan Leavitt of Dallin make an opening comment on how he thought the defense played today, and then we'll take questions.
I think that's the first time we put a full 60 minutes together this season. Being a younger team, a little bit more inexperienced, guys are getting reps, guys are coming in their roles, they understand what they're supposed to be doing, and they're doing their job very well. And tonight, I mean, not perfect, but damn near.
Geez, Dallin, maybe you guys should play in sunny, cold, windy conditions all the time. The last time there was a shutout here was similar conditions in 2013. So just tell me as a senior how much it means to you to get a shutout here, first shutout since 2013.
Yeah, it's special. You know, we don't really talk about it during the week or anything like that, but when we went up 14-0, we started looking at each other and like, hey, let's finish this right. So, you know, it was special for us to go out in front of our fans and in front of our family, and as a group to finish with a shutout.
What was that second quarter like when they were moving the ball, but you guys held them out twice when they were right down there?
Yeah, bend don't break. And are you talking about when they got down to the 1 and we punched it out? Yeah, Gage made a great play. Came in and stuck the running back and punched his arm in there and forced a fumble. That's you know, that's what we talk about all the time, is causing turnovers, stripping at the ball, and that was a great play by Gage.
Talk about the improvement of the D-line. It seems like the defensive backfield's been playing pretty well throughout the year, but the D-line, it seems like they're getting better every game.
Yeah, you know, our D-line is pretty young as well. JUCO guys and stuff like that, and having them get comfortable and, you know, doing a great job stopping the run and getting pressure on the quarterback has really helped us in the back end, and it's I think is what made our defense be so successful the last 2 weeks.
Doug provided a pretty insane statistic at halftime. Over the last, heading into halftime, 6 quarters, the opposition had 7 red zone possessions, 0 points. I mean, how much pride do you take in that?
Yeah, you know, like I said, it's a bend don't break attitude, and you know, when you go down in there, we consider the red zone our home, and so when an intruder comes in your home, that's when you bow up, and that's when you find out who you really are. And the last, what'd you say, 7 possessions, we've defended our home.
Dallin, on third down, especially early on, you seemed to really dial up some blitzes that paid off. Was that something that you'd seen as a team and game plan for during the week, or just taking advantage of that opportunity?
No, our coaches do a great job of of coming up with blitzes and finding exactly where they, you know, if they slide the back or whatever they do a great job of finding their weak group or their weak individual, and we get our best pass rusher on them, and they do a great job of that, and our team has done a great job of going with it each week and executing.
You guys were on the field for quite a bit as a defense, 38 minutes for this game, but it seemed like you guys had energy all the way through the final whistle. How much do you attribute that to having this late bye week that you guys just came off of?
Yeah, you know, we got fresh. It came at a really good time. I think for the most, I mean, not for the most part, but we've been really healthy this season. We've been really lucky, and you know, last game was probably the first game that we really felt pretty beat up, so it ended up coming at a good time.
So like you said, energy, man. You're an energetic player. You play with a fire to you, but the rest of the team seemed right there with you today. They seem like they're, I mean, from pregame warm-ups onwards, man, you guys are stoked.
Yeah, I mean, I think this team is really close, and we have you know, they talk about a brotherhood and all that stuff, but there really is a deep connection and a deep love for each other, especially in our defensive room. And so they wanted to do it for us seniors, and us seniors wanted to do it for each other. I think it was probably the most selfless game that we've probably played as a whole, just in regards of energy and where we were putting our heart and our soul into it. So, yeah.
So that's where the full 60 minutes came from?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And then, I mean, it paid off. You guys are bowl eligible.
I know, it's really nice. We doubled our win total from last year and going bowling this year. So.
When you flip the switch and get ready for, you know, potentially a 7th win?
Right now, enjoy it for a couple hours, and then it's on the Air Force. Yeah.
Anything else for Dallin?
Thanks, guys.
Well, first of all, what a great team win and a great way to send our seniors out of Maverick Stadium with a win and a shutout for those guys on defense. Shutouts are hard to come by, and Colorado State was a long time ago. In my first year as the head coach in 2013, there was only a handful of those players that were here in 2013. So what a special day, a lot of pride on that defense in the fourth quarter, a lot of backups playing, and so a tremendous, tremendous performance by our defense. Red zone defense was outstanding. Fourth down stops were outstanding. And then I thought we did a great job running the football on offense. Our O-line did a great job of protecting Jordan. Multiple, backs. Both quarterbacks got involved in the run game. And great game plan on offense by David Yost. And a credit to our defense and defensive coaches for a shutout. And so I'm happy with win number 6, but, there's one more week to go. And a big emphasis for us a week ago coming off bye week was finish strong, and we're on a 2-week sprint. And so we were on a 2-week sprint to get to number 7. And so this isn't, this is number 6, but it's not the tip of the mountain for us. And so that's all those guys in the locker room were talking about just a few minutes ago. And so they absolutely know right where we're at and how we're trying to finish the season. So proud of them. Great, strong start, and really came out after halftime, and I thought you saw a very fresh and a very energized team coming off bye week, and I'm very proud. I thought we looked very fast, especially early in the game, and these guys have done a nice job over the last 2 weeks. So with that, I'll go in and open up for some questions.
I understand all 18 seniors got to play tonight.
They did.
How special is that for you?
That's pretty neat. That was a concerted effort on our part this week, and there's actually some of those guys got extended playing time at the end of the game, and that's something that they'll always remember. You can't ever take those feelings away, and it's one of those years we were able to do it, and I think that was pretty neat that every one of them got to play.
Not only did they all get to play, but Myers had a touchdown, Roberts had a touchdown, Jalen Davis tied his career high, I believe, on pass breakups.
Yeah, 4 PBUs.
Pretty much everybody had an amazing game as a senior. How sad are you going to be to see them walk out the door, though, here in a couple weeks?
Well, we got a few more weeks left with them, but those guys that you just mentioned have meant a lot to this program. Kent Myers, LAJUAN, Hunt, Jalen Davis, Braylon Roberts, you just mentioned a few of them. DALLIN LEAVETT, I thought, played extremely well. Those guys, when they play that way on a great, what a great setting today, great weather. Senior day, you get a shutout, score a lot of points, get to enjoy the fourth quarter. You can't write a better script for those seniors.
Coach, what are you doing during bye weeks? You're 5-0 after bye weeks in your career.
6-0 now.
Was that 6-0?
Yeah.
Sorry. 6-0 after bye weeks. I mean, most of those being huge wins like this one.
I don't know. I think it's a lot more player driven. We've had some big wins coming off bye weeks. And I think our coaches do a great job. Our strength and conditioning staff, led by Dave Scholes, we just put a lot of thought into it and do some different stuff during bye week. And it's a very fine line. I talked to you guys, on Monday in that press conference. It's a fine line between how hard you're practicing, how much you're resting, and getting ahead. We spent some time getting ahead on Hawaii, developing our younger kids, taking some time with our younger players, and getting ahead. But I think we had the right mix, and I think you saw a very fast and very fresh and really energized team today.
Coach, do you feel like the run block is, for the offensive line is getting better each week?
Yeah, I think, obviously you've had back-to-back 100-yard rushers the last 2 weeks. Anytime you rush for 300 yards on anybody, I think it's a good day at the office for the O-line. The other guys that are involved in that, especially in a direct form up close, is those tight ends. Dax Raymond, Carson Terrell, Damian Hobbs have done a really good job blocking, and I don't think that they get enough credit either.
You talk about the impact that LAJUAN in the last 2 games, like you said, back-to-back 100-yard rushing games, he's had on the offense and being efficient with the running game.
I think you see a little bit more fresh and re-energized LaJuan Hunt. I think the move that we made maybe a month ago, 3 weeks ago, with Gerald Bright moving to running back and DJ Nelson moving to H has proven to be a good move on both counts, both positions. But the emergence of Trey Miller and the emergence of Gerald Bright has given LaJuan, I think, a little bit more freshness. You can get really beat up at running back. And so I think LaJuan would be the first to tell you that that's helped him. And but he has a renewed spirit and a very good intentional efforts, the last few weeks, and we're going to need that the rest of the way.
Coach, what all went into the hot start today? It seemed like part of it was offense just really played with a lot of attitude and purpose to start the game.
Well, I think you got both sides feeding off each other. Big emphasis for us this week was to start fast. We actually even changed up some of our pregame routine a little bit this morning, just to try to, in an effort to talk about that and to get that going. But the credit goes to those players. Our kids came out ready to go. And the other thing that I think showed their focus and they were dialed in mentally is the effort coming right out of the halftime at a locker room. I think they were really, really dialed in on both sides, and it was 21-0 points, basically 21-0 right out of the gate again in the third quarter. And so my hat's off to our players.
Did that play to end the first half play into that as well?
Absolutely. What a jolt of energy and a huge play on the goal line. Big turnover.
What was that second quarter like, Matt, where I think it was like a 19-play drive where they had the ball for like 11 minutes that quarter, but yet held them out of the end zone twice?
Yeah, it's, just a lot of bend but no break. Tremendous red zone defense. I think Doug said 7 or 8. The radio guy said 8. I don't know. Trips to the red zone, not scoring. And that's a first. That has to be. That's unbelievable. But our defense is bowed up, and I thought they did a really nice job on fourth downs too.
Felt like a really motivated team today. How important was it next week to be motivated again? How important is that game to get to 7?
It's more important than this one. It's something that we started talking about during bye week, and then we talked about it again this week, that we are going to celebrate and we are going to enjoy when we win number 6. But the celebration was good, but they know exactly what we need to do is go find a way to win at Air Force next week. And we want to get to 7 with a chance to get to 8. And they know what 8 means. I've let them know in terms of history of Utah State football in the last 4 decades. They know. And they want to finish strong. Bye week came at a good time for us. We really got refreshed and re-energized, and I think you see a very healthy football team, and I think you see a team that's really got a great vibe, and they're feeding off each other. A lot of guys running the ball, a lot of guys catching passes, and a lot of guys playing, at backer and at DB, and I think that keeps guys fresh. I also think it's great for the morale, and more guys playing, and guys have a role. And that was, another big thing is we talked about roles. Know your role, do your job this week.
Coach, we talked a little bit on Monday about how Hawaii's offense had a lot of multi parts of their offense. They were passing, running. They averaged 5.8 yards per play coming into this, and you held them to 3.8. What was the secret on defense, really kind of corralling all the weapons that they had on offense, really keeping them checked?
I think the key to that was playing good on first and second down. The times that we didn't play good on first and second down, I think you saw the ball moving all the way down the field, trying to get them in 3rd and long and trying to dictate what they were going to do and minimize what they were going to do, and then let our pass rush guys go to town.
Coach, how do you credit going from a 3-win season to this? That's not an easy thing to do.
Well, let's answer that question here in a few weeks. Be a lot more detailed. We all got blinders on right now, and we want to finish this thing really strong. But a lot of it is the vibe of these players and just and I've said this before, you go back and you uncover everything in your program from A to Z, and you come away with a lot more confirmation that you're doing things right, and then you tweak a few things, you maybe change 1 or 2, and you change some personnel, and then you motivate to go out and recruit, and you just basically resolve that it never happens again. And a deep, deep motivation that's not just by me. It has to go through the coaching staff, through all of our support staff, and the entire team. And I'm proud of these guys. You know, you hit some adversity a little bit in October. We lose a few home games. The credit goes to those players. They're the ones getting back up off the mat, and they get knocked down and get back up and put all their emotions and their feelings out there for everybody to judge and critique and just do it all over again. And we found a way to kind of keep chipping at it and get healthy and get some guys back. And we're on a little bit of a run right now, and there's a good mojo in that locker room right now.
Well, big congratulations. I wanted to follow up too on something you said on the radio, talking about how much fun it is being in Logan after you won a game. And you got lots of daylight left. Well, a little bit of daylight left.
Yeah, it's going to make – well, Coach Miley got me a couple in-state recruits. We're going to recruiting dinner tonight, and it'll be so much more fun winning, I promise you that. So, but we will celebrate, and then tomorrow go right to work on Air Force.
Matt, how good did you feel after Kent's touchdown pass? That was the best pass he's thrown in his career.
Yeah, you know, I'm happy for that kid. That kid has been a great teammate. He's been a great leader. He's been a great football player here at Utah State. And for him to have that moment, you know, on senior day, I think is big time, something he'll never forget.
Coach, one of those changes from last week, obviously, is bringing Yost in as offensive coordinator this season. You mentioned today that he had a brilliant offensive game plan that obviously clicked really well. How important has he been to kind of this offense having all the success that they've had this year? I think this also made it 5-0. You guys have scored 30 more points in the game. So how key has he been to this game?
I think David Yost has done a nice job of really organizing our staff and teaching the offense, done a nice job with the quarterbacks. But again, I'm gonna say the success of any leader, and that's a unit leader, is always attributed to how the troops respond to you. And our players have responded to him in a great way. And he'll get after them, he'll encourage them, he'll challenge them. But they've stepped up and met each one of those with, I think, an infectious attitude. And our players, I give the credit to our players, but they're the ones that bought in and done a nice job.
You talk about players that bought in. A lot of your senior class has bought in. Myers, you know, Jalen Davis, and Dallin, and some of the other guys like Odegaard who don't get a lot of mention. That senior class is pretty deep for you.
Yeah, and you know, it's a senior class we honored last night after our Friday night meal, and obviously did in pregame today. But there's 6 guys out of those 18 that came in here and started as walk-ons. Nobody gave them any chance. And you know, there's 4 of those players that we've mentioned that are 4-year starters, part-time starters on and off again. Jalen, Ian, LAJUAN, and Kent. And then, you know, Braylon's been here 5 years. You know, Andrew Chin, 5 years. Braylon Roberts, 5 years. You got some 4-year transfers. DALLIN, LEAVETT, Damian Hobbs. And we got 6 or 7 junior college players, and that goes from 4-year. A guy, Tony Lindsay, came in here and played for 4 years, you know, and some of the junior college players were only 2. But there's a mix. Everybody's got their own story. Everybody's got their own road traveled. But they'll always be linked together as that 2017 senior class that really maybe got us back where we need to be and back where we want to be, and that's in postseason. And my hat's off to those guys. It always hasn't been easy. There's not 18 starters in there, full-time starters. A lot of them are role players. You know, you take a guy like Emmett Odegaard, came in as a walk-on and won the starting deep snapper job. I'm surprised you even know who that is. But the only reason y'all know who he is because he made a great play at the very end. But that's a compliment to a deep snapper. When his mom, his head coach, and his special teams coordinator are the only ones that know who he is, he's usually doing a pretty good job. And what a great play for him to have on senior day. Again, another memory. I know I sound like a broken record, but those are memories that those kids will have for a lifetime.
I mean, you just mentioned a lot of those players' stories, individual stories, and that's impressive. You're a coach, so you know your players, but to know each individual story, and like you said, to have those memories, they must have made an impression on you.
Well, they're my guys. I mean, I've been here 5 years. I've sat in every one of their living rooms. I've recruited every one of them. Our staff, I shouldn't say I apologize for that. Our staff has, you know, you talk to my 15-year-old daughter, she'll say I've got 1 brother and 113 stepbrothers. And that's just our family. That's the way we look at it. And, you know, you get to, you know, address the senior parents and just to see the support, and it takes an army to raise a kid. But I'm just a one small part in it. Our strength staff, our coaching staff, our GAs, our academic staff, there's a lot, our trainers, our doctors, there's a lot of people that help raise these kids. And it's senior day is always bittersweet, but to be able to send these guys out as winners, you know, in Maverick one more time is huge. And then to get back and I know we haven't gotten there yet, but get back and have a chance to get in the postseason is it's huge.
Anything else for Coach Wells?
Thanks. Appreciate y'all coming out.